kit is for faucets not running. These are touchless, and the power supply is a battery. Typically when you put your hand here, the sensor will sense it and the water will turn on and then shut off when doesn't sense your hand anymore. Back under this side of this body is an Allen key. There's actually a component there with a magnet on the end. Without that in, even if the faucet has a good battery, it'll stop the operation. So it also prevents you from pulling this body off. You don't have to turn the water off on this type underneath for this. Go ahead and get your Allen key. This one you get a little bit more room. Sometimes you're right up against the backsplash and it can be really challenging. And of course I turned it the wrong way. I was tightening it. Once I get it out far enough, I'll unscrew this by hand because it's kind of tedious. Yeah. And then you'll see when I pull it out, there's a wire with a magnet on it. This de-energizes it, so there's no way this solenoid can activate and turn the water on. What I'm gonna try to do is pull this up, a little wiggle. Check in here, make sure nothing's wet and something's fried. There's some O-rings that would need to be replaced if that was the case. Just pop the battery out. I checked the voltage on these. It's a 6-volt battery. It helps to put it in the right way. Now look at that, I'm getting a steady red light on there. I noticed one thing with all these automatic sensors. When you change batteries, it's on a toilet or a sink or what have you. What I was saying, what I noticed is that give it a minute before you test it. They have to calibrate, and you know, it's a lot of logic, so just give it time for it to do its thing. So after I get this wire back in, I'll wait a minute or so before I even test it. If you try to do it all at once, it's just not going to work correctly. And then you start going down a rabbit hole that you don't need to, looking for other components that aren't working when it just needed more time. So hand tying in as far as I can go. There's not much to grab, but that beats using that Allen wrench. And I got 4 more rooms in this suite to do. So it's the engineers, a combination of engineers and the architects. This is healthcare, so they're always thinking about infectious disease control. So a lot of the equipment is touchless, with sensors and proximity sensors. Got them on the soap dispensers and hand sanitizer dispensers. A lot of doors have proximity sensors now. You don't tap a wall switch anymore. You just wave your hand in front of it. Yeah, it feels good on my back too, crouching over like this. They can have these, plugged into the building power with a transformer. Then you never have to worry about the batteries. But that adds a lot of cost when they're bidding, picking a contractor to build up the suites. So I don't see it all the time. I've seen a little bit, but not much. All right, this is the part where I wait a little bit. And I bring both sets of Allen keys. It's always hard to remember, and it saves me a trip back to the truck. If it's metric, this is my metric set, and this is my standard. Because God knows I hate going back to the truck. See if that was enough time. Looks a little weak to me. You should get a better flow than that. But that's not because of this. That would be a restrictor maybe in here. If I have time to take care of that, I will. But right now I want to get these other faucets running. Work order states IV cart needs locks to be replaced. I have the new locks in the supervisor office. Come along with me and we'll change the lock on these chest of drawers. Alright, let's see if we can pick a lock. With one hand.
What are you doing?
Picking a lock.
Oh, did we lock it?
No, it's I have to remove the lock plug. They want the locks changed. Yeah.
Really?
All right, we gotta pull out this lock plug. We don't have a change tool key, so we're gonna pick it. Now this is the new lock plug. So what you got this wafer. This is what holds the lock plug in. So this is one I'm actually picking with the pick and moving the wafer down, so then the whole plug will slide out. So I'll take this key out, put in the pick, get that wafer down, and insert the lock plug into the lock body. All right, the pick is in, and that last wafer is pulled in. You see a little bit of the pick on that end. So what we're gonna do is, I got the last wafer. The last wafer there is what holds the lock plug in. So it should insert now. Okay. Lock plug replaced. We'll check its operation. Get the pick out. See if I can do it with one hand. I think this is going to be a success. Yeah. Again, just want to give it a show of what the lock pick looks like. The one I'm using, there's a lot of different picks. Where did I get this one? YouTube. The lock pick lawyer. It was from Sparrows. This was like a couple years ago. So now I'm going to try their keys.
Excuse me, sir.
Sure, go ahead. Okay. I think all the drawers got to be shut for the gang lock to work. Yep. Now these drawers should be locked. That's the idea. Now I got one more unit to do. Shoot, I'm gonna need two hands. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit rough. First time you do anything is pretty rough. But I had the guts to try. Just showing up sometimes gets the job done. Still working on getting the pick out.
Hey.
I'll be done as soon as I get this pick out. Unlocked. Locked. And we'll leave it unlocked.